Next, then we will be focusing on the stakeholder engagement activities regarding the circular batteries. And we have 3 speakers for this. So first, Jan Bakke from Ostfold, then Jari Saukko from EcoFellows, and Tiina Laiho from Click Innovation. So please, Jan, feel free to start.
Yes, hello. My name is Jan Bakke. As said, I'm from County of Østfold and project manager of Tresors there. In Tresors, we are working with stakeholder engagement, we are engaging stakeholders with the aim to facilitate circular economy collaboration, innovations, and solutions. And for this, we are targeting many different stakeholder groups. Businesses, decision makers, consumers, but also local communities and procurers and event organizers. And the methods we do to do this is to have 5 parallel stakeholder engagement demonstrations where we use many different kind of methods or concepts. We are performing workshops, hackathons, fixing workshops, seminars, making procurement recipes, and making guides for cultural and sports events. Next. The objectives of this work is firstly to learn from stakeholders and understand their perspectives and perceptions and position in circular economy transition. Then it's also to strengthen the decision makers' capability of how they can enable the circular economy. And last, build the knowledge and the stakeholder capacity to ensure that the stakeholders understand the benefits of circular economy and can participate in implementing the circular economy on different stakeholder levels. Yes. And now I will pass the word to Jari Saukko, who's going to speak about business to customer and public authorities.
Okay, thanks. So please have the next page. So we can start. So Jari Saukko from EcoFellows. And we had one session called Kiertofest in Tampere House. That was held already 1 year ago. And there were quite a lot of people visiting there, and quite many of visitors were stopping on our table and stand there. And they were like from businesses and decision makers, as Jan told earlier, our target groups and consumers and young and old people in general, so that was open for all of them anyway. And I think the most important issue is the key findings, because there were quite a lot of people, and actually there were some general issues that has not mentioned here, so that how I can understand what is the circular economy. So somehow all of us, we are thinking circular economy a little bit different way, because the term itself is not like fixed term as a word. And that makes some kind of challenge how to understand the circular economy. And after that, where to have trusted information. Because there are a lot of information available on newspapers, TVs, and these processes, and so on and so on. There are plenty of information around the circular economy. And I think that one issue, key message, was also that people were very actually curious and interested, and they were also asking, what can I do by behalf of what is my role here? So what I can do. And that is something that we need this kind of processes, like research process, so that we can create answers for that. So we will continue this concept actually and developing that further. But I think that we can take the next page because time is running. And if we go back to Lempäälä, as Matias told that there is one demo site in Lempäälä, and actually maybe the most important issue is that like this money, resources and targets road. So first we need to decide how much of money we can spend for the solution. Then we can think what kind of resources we have. Like are we going to use the batteries inside the building or outside the building? Like in EcoStore Matias presentation, there were some demos inside and some outside, because then there are different kind of requirements, and what kind of automation there is, and especially if that is inside, what are the room and space requirements there, and also what kind of people I have in my network, so that what kind of consulting support is needed. And then we can decide the targets. And target can be also like a business model point of view, so that is this under or below or more than 100 kilowatts the size of the storage, so that can we join to these energy markets, or is this only for local purposes, like saving the power from solar panels? And that is something that maybe at the moment we can recommend it, so that think money, resources, targets, and make the good decisions, and also payback time that is related on that. And these space requirements and room requirements, that is something that there are plenty of issues that mentioned already, so that they may have requirements for the quality of air quality related issues, and maybe there are required something like CO2 sensor or other sensority related on locally and where that battery is assembled actually. And local fire and safety regulations, these are also very important to understand in very early phase. Maybe that goes to that resources point, so that before making the decision, just to check what are the local regulations. And automation and network related issues, so what kind of building management system you have there, how to connect the system, this battery, to your building, and how to make the connection, ICT connection, and the real this electric cabling and so on. And if what kind of maintenance and spare part situation there will be in the future. Actually, that is also so that maybe that can be think in case of resources point. So what is the lifetime expectation for the battery? And there is one picture actually, this EV car battery, that is quite clever system actually in Lempäälä house at the moment. So there are real like second life batteries there inside the building. I think I have used my 5 minutes already, so thanks.
Thank you, Jari. I will take over now. So Tiina from Click Innovation here again. I'll just talk a little bit about the ecosystems and clusters for the battery part. So if you can go to the next page. Again, we have the same discussion about what is ecosystem and what's the difference between the clusters, but I'm not going to review this again. We discussed this in the morning. So maybe in the next page, thank you. So as said, we did mapping on the markets where we are with the treasures, and we mapped all these ecosystems for all the 3 KVCs, and for batteries we actually found a lot of cluster organizations. They are actually listed, and we can share the information, but you can see the numbers here. So there are several cluster organizations around the batteries in each of these 4 countries. If you go to the next page, Maybe a next page. Sorry, I will not review this again. So here again, we did a mapping, and this is example from Finland. Unfortunately, the big actually it's in Finnish part of it, so sorry about that, but it's again kind of like portraying the value chain from materials to the like batteries and cells, to applications, reuse and recycling. And we have mapped different national organizations active along the value chain. So you see that there is a lot of organizations involved already on the Finnish level along this value chain. If you go to the next page, you see now the basics where we started from. So before we actually went into this national and regional mapping, we had a look at the whole value chain, and we basically mapped the different parts. And this is just explaining what kind of operators, organizations there are in this ecosystem. So next page. Yeah, so thank you. This is again Pirkanmaa. So you can see, of course, that there are a little bit different local or regional organizations. So here you see a lot of regional organizations from Pirkanmaa that might be also having national coverage, but at least they are active in Pirkanmaa. And if you go then to the next slide. Yes, so that was my part. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. And now I will talk a little about a matchmaking event and industry engagement workshop that was held in Fredrikstad, Norway. A little bit about the background and the main content and highlights of the event. The overall background really is how can solar energy and repurposing of used EV battery energy storage system contribute to solve challenges with lack of renewable energy capacity in industrial areas. And this particular area is the Øra industrial area in the municipality of Fredrikstad. And Øra is an industrial area with both manufacturing companies, energy producers, and businesses dealing with waste management. And these companies need more renewable energy capacity, both for existing operations, for greenhouse gas reductions, and also for extending new projects. There are limitations of the capacity of the current electricity grid for local transmission of energy, which pose challenges to extending activities and projects. And we would also, preparing for this, the companies and also the municipality would want to look into the possibilities to be found in exploiting solutions for energy flexibility as a part of solving some of these problems. And the stakeholder event builds on several existing and ongoing initiatives for collaboration among the companies and the municipality is in the region. There are several projects. We are collaborating on the utilization of waste and energy resources in the region, and both for smart sharing of energy, for sharing of waste resources in production, but also how could we share energy to extend and to collaborate on our activities. To the right, you see something about the energy consumption in the area, which is mainly made out of natural gas, then also almost same part on heat from waste incineration, and about 1/3 or a little less than 1/3 from electricity, and then also a little bit from oil. Next, please. So this seminar on promoting solar energy solutions and second life battery energy storage systems for industrial businesses was a cooperation between Tresors and a local project on innovation through industrial symbiosis, and a local project on emission cuts for the industry in the area. And the basic scope was having a matchmaking of industrial businesses and solar energy suppliers and suppliers of second life battery energy storage systems. And in the seminar, we would want to bring stakeholders together to explore barriers to implementing the solar energy and second life battery energy storage solutions, and what kind of steps we would have to make to overcome them. Next, please. Both for the industrial city area and the city as a whole, a range of different solutions are needed to solve the problems with energy capacity. You have both the functional interplay between different energy solutions, increased grid capacity, energy efficiency, new production of electricity. But in this seminar, most importantly, we would want to focus on more utilization of other renewable energy sources like solar energy and surplus energy, and also how we could exploit flexibility in energy consumption. Next, please. The scope of the seminar, it was restricted to solar energy solutions for rooftops and facades, and second life battery energy storage solutions. And there was a twin focus, both presenting these solutions for individual companies, users, or customers, but also to explore the interest for joint concepts for industrial business and companies. And the seminar also would include grid operators and look to hear what their thoughts and perception on the role of solar energy and the role of flexibility solutions like second life battery energy storage systems. Next, please. And here we will go through some excerpts from the seminar. A theoretical report on the potential for solar energy production from solar energy panels on roof areas and facades had been ordered and presented at the seminar. And here are some facts. It was estimated that for the total of the roofs deemed suitable for solar panel or solar energy production, a yearly estimated production potential of 29.4 gigawatt hours. Then the estimated climate footprint of production, that includes the production of the materials like the solar panels, the inverters, the cables, were 21.9 grams CO2 per kilowatt hour. And it was estimated a life cycle of the panels of 30 years. And in the seminar, it was also highlighted that flexibility solutions like second life battery energy storage systems and local sharing of energy would be welcomed as a way of reducing the need for investments in the grid by balancing the production and the consumption. Next, please. The industrial businesses, companies, and also the municipalities that participated were presented with 15 supplier presentations, including 2 second life battery energy storage solutions, pitching the concept, the business model, the cost and benefit ratio of their products and their services. Afterwards, in addition to this, there was also background on the drivers and barriers and the uses of second life battery energy storage system presented to the companies. After this, the intention was to have workshops on drivers and barriers for joint solar energy solutions in the area to see and to gauge the interest among the companies present to go forward with exploring these solutions, and also to explore the barriers for implementing second life battery energy storage systems. Next, please. In the second life battery energy storage workshop, we presented the results, or Centre presented the results of the Treasures project so far, and also some of the recommendations that were put forward from Treasures on eco-design and other related issues. But the main questions engaged with the stakeholders where we wanted feedback and discussion were these. What are the main barriers for you to implementing major second life energy or battery energy storage systems? And what kind of actions can be done to mitigate or to lower these barriers? And in which other areas do you see the need for new standards and new regulations? And feedback from this workshop was likely to provide basis for new policy recommendations. And this subject is dealt with in separate tasks and activities and Treasures, and is the subject of, with the policy recommendations, is also the subject of the next presentation. So if you have any more questions, you'd be happy to write them in the chat. Thank you for your attention, and now to the next presentation.